y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Thoughts Spoken Wisely podcast. I'm your host, Jada, and I'm super excited that you tuned in. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, do all of the things, leave the comments. I'm going to jump right in. You already know this is a safe space where we can talk about all things growth, all things healing, all things thoughts, and most of all things God. Y'all, I have my sister sitting with me today. Y'all seen her on the last episode, but this is a solo episode with just me and my sister, up close and personal. And she is here. Let me introduce you because I'm gonna say a couple things, but then she can introduce herself the way that she wants to. So my sister is my very first friend, one of my really close and best friends because she was my first friend. Um, a lover, a sister, an auntie. This is like my up close and personal, got my back through and through. Call her any time of the night. This is my girl.
And I'm pulling that.
No, for real. This is my girl. But as far as who she says that she is, it'll be totally different from what I say that she is. But yeah, that's my sister. Yeah.
Sister said name is Kimmy.
Well, you introduced yourself on the last episode, so we ain't got to do all that.
Kim's if you're nasty.
Oh gosh.
So no, I'm just kidding. But I agree with everything that she said. I'm just that girl. Period.
Okay, what about that girl?
I said I agree with everything you said.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because I know her.
I only agree because you said I wouldn't agree. So I agree.
Wow, great.
Gotta prove you wrong.
Great. What was on your mind today?
I don't know if I should say this, but
oh gosh.
One thing I will say is I started feeling I guess you could say like a nervousness in regards to like going home. Yeah, like I don't think people understand when I say I've been so at peace here, like at peace. You know when they say in your nakedness? I've been in my nakedness mentally, like
I like that.
emotionally, nakedness. Just I started to, kind of feel like a little bit of that overwhelming feeling because it's just like back to the trenches, even though I don't live in the trenches, but it's one of those things where it's like at home kind of feels like a battle. So it's just like, dang, to come here and be able to just be like take a deep breath and be like, whoo, like, and I've been waiting for months at this point to be like, okay, I can breathe. So it's definitely like, wow, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know. I feel like
What
I want you to come.
of?
I want you to come there.
You want me to come there?
Yeah, like every day.
Oh God.
But you said, what am I afraid of?
Yeah.
About going home. I'm not afraid of anything.
Okay.
That's the thing. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just more so like I don't want to be in a place that's not peaceful. Like an eternal peace, I don't want to do that. I really want to be comfortable all the way across the board like I was here. Even going to my grandmother's house, normally I'd be dreading it. Like, oh my God, no, absolutely not. I don't want to go. Or
I feel like it was cool over there.
I know. Or I will go towards the end of the night where it's like, okay, it's not going to be too much. People going to be tired. Get in, get out.
I feel like.
But I could have sat there for hours.
There. Yeah. We were there for hours. Actually.
More hours.
Yeah.
I could have spent the night. Honestly speaking.
I feel like it was really chill. I feel like
her vibe was different. Like it wasn't that I just need love right now. And I think that feeling of like people are attacking me or just treating me somehow, it's like that. Like, and then it's happening in a space where I can't necessarily defend myself in a sense where I'm not financially secure at the moment. So it's just like, people treating me somehow. I can't just be like, you know what? I'm going to leave because I can't afford to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I can't afford to go get a hotel for a couple days because I'm not working. So just like I have to endure these things, which causes a buildup of emotions because it's just like
I was just about to ask you, how does that, just this space of transition, like going through surgery, we talked about that on the last episode where she just had surgery. I actually mentioned it a couple episodes ago when I was like, yeah, my sister's recovering. And because I know her so well, when I was having an issue or like a little breakdown, I just know that it probably made her feel some type of way because usually she's the one who helps me out with the little ones. And yeah, how is this transition of recovery making you feel? Like, how do you feel going through this transition? Actually, how did you how did you expect for the transition to how did you expect yourself to go through the transition, and what is it that you actually feel? Because that's two different things. How did you expect to be going through this thing, and like right now at this very moment, how do you feel about going through it?
I'm gonna tell you something funny. This is so crazy. So for some reason, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I've always like younger, I've always wanted to have surgery.
You never told me this, bruh.
I've always so there's two things. I've always wanted to have surgery and I've always wanted to have a hard cast.
What?
Why? I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I do not
You
know
never told
why.
me this. This is throwing me off, but go ahead.
I
To
don't know
have
why,
surgery.
but yeah, it was like on my wish list. Now, bro, I am never having surgery again. Whatever
Okay.
said issue is, I'm gonna die with it.
Oh my goodness.
No, but yeah, yeah, I don't know why. I just those are two things I've always wanted. So now going through it, I was expecting like a little bit of downtime, maybe 2 weeks.
And right now you on like what, week number 8?
Yeah.
It's been about 8 weeks, roughly.
hmm
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I still have like 4 weeks left to go. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's like the idea of being dependent. It's crazy to me, and it's like even though I'm dependent, I'm still trying to push myself to be independent. I still do for myself, one way or another. And it's a crazy experience because I feel like there are certain people I expected to show up for me more. Um, and I expected certain people to be a little different. But it's still, I mean, they're still the same way. And it's shocking to me. But I mean, then I have people who I didn't really expect much from, and they are like showing up like clockwork, and it's just like, wow, like I didn't know you cared that much. And then like the people I wanted to care that much is just they're like brushing me off, which is it hurt my feelings in the beginning, but you gotta appreciate who's there for you. So all that to say, it's definitely been an adjustment. I even to the point I'm like mentally like I'm ready to go back to work. I'm ready. I'm ready. Like I got all these plans. But then physically, I know I'm not ready. Like I know it, but I'm trying to catch my body up to my mind.
That's a good way to put it. I got another question. How do you feel like, or what do you feel like God is teaching you through this experience?
Um, Number one, patience. Um, Patience for the most part. Um,
Definitely patience. I second that.
Walking by faith because I'm gonna be real. This whole period of time. This is the most I've ever prayed. This is the most I've ever had to sit down and trust God, you know, through and through. And it's definitely been one of those things where it's just like, I find myself like, oh my God, I need money. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. And it's like,
God provides.
yeah. And in the
That's
craziest
how it be.
ways, like really in the craziest ways, because it's like, even like I'll use my phone bill as an example. All I saw was, okay, now there's two bills combined. And it's like, oh my God, I've never had it that high. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then, normally like with Verizon, after a certain, like they don't allow you to go over a certain amount to do like a payment plan, whatever. So the fact that my phone bill is over that amount,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to do a payment plan to where my phone bill is due basically a week after I go back to work
Okay.
officially. So it's just like, that's something I was literally like, oh my God, I can't not have a phone. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then I was so worried about getting money
Mm-hmm.
versus a solution, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna get the money, but am I really gonna only put the money towards my phone bill when I
Right.
have other things that I need first?
Right.
I have medications that I need and stuff like that, and it's just like, it's gonna be the medication and the phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the medication because I need it. So it's definitely it's been hard. Um, but yeah, like, and then also leaning on people. Back to your question,
Mm-hmm.
leaning on people. I've always been the one that people lean on, and I like to take care of people. It's in my nature. Like, I like making people feel good, but it's definitely been like crazy. The even with you, like driving down, and this girl's a road
I'm
runner,
gonna take care of
y'all.
my
A
girl.
road runner. I'm
I
telling
told y'all
y'all.
I love people, but I absolutely love my family. And then it's like I told y'all, me and my sisters, we are inseparable. And my brother. like I kind of like toss him to the side because before it was just us three, so we know each other inside and out as much as we can know each other. So I
And
mean,
he's
at the
a
end of the day, oh
minor.
my goodness. But it's the fact that between all of my siblings, we're the closest. And it's not because of anything besides like age. Like I'm really close to my younger sister, but the relationship is it's not like how the two of us are. So I'm gonna go to limbs for all of them. I have, and I'm going to continue to as long as I'm able. That's just that. Um, I definitely want to ask you, what have you learned about God in this situation? Because I feel like we all know that God holds the plan of our lives in his hand, right? We know that he has our names like written and tailored to whatever his will is for us, right? And during the times where he take us and he set us in a corner, that's what I call it. When he take you and he remove you from the world and your daily activities and all of the things that's been getting your attention, and he sits you down, and it's like when you forced to sit down, he literally wants you. He don't want everything else that your mind was focused on. He don't want anything. He wants you in
Mm-hmm.
totality. Like everything that you are, from your mind to your soul, your heart, your breath. He wants you. So in this space, I'm sure that he's shown you something, whether it's his character, whether it's his love, his kindness. What has he actually shown you during this time? Because I'm pretty sure he done tugged on you a little bit and said, look, this is who I am.
So I make the joke, right? But I think it's the most relatable way to answer your question. So one thing I learned is that God is territorial.
Absolutely.
And I say that to say there's been numerous times where I wanted to come to God, like completely submit myself and, live by his word and things like that. But I wanted to do it while bringing along the things that he didn't want me to do. I wanted to serve God and, get closer to God, but I still wanted to drink. I still wanted to smoke. I still wanted to have sex outside of marriage, like things like that. I still wanted to do all of those things, but it was like mentally, I'm like, I still prayed. I went to church. But during this period, he was territorial. He said, I want you and nothing else with you. So for me, it was, it was easy. It was definitely easy in a sense where it was just like the severity of, my health. I didn't want to die. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So it was the easy choice. It was no longer like, oh, like I had a choice for real, for
Hmm.
real. It was no longer a choice. It was through and through.
Sometimes it's like that. He'll snatch you up so hard that it's like
Yeah.
it's life or death.
Mhm.
If you don't mind, can you explain? You don't have to go like
Right.
into the full details of what's been going on, but I guess like the backstory with the surgery.
Oh, okay. So, I had a thing called a duplication cyst. I was actually born with it. Um, it was a how do I put it? It was like the size when I was born with it. It was technically like the size of like a grain of sea salt.
Okay.
So as I, got older, stuff like that, it started to get bigger. And within the, the time frame of me actually going to the hospital and everything, it it grew so rapidly. Like, one week I was okay, I was fine. Then the next week it was like I was at work, I couldn't stop throwing up, couldn't hold food down. I was just like, okay. Um, but I had ate some really, really spicy foods. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe I just shouldn't have eaten that. Like it irritated my stomach. And then I actually thought I had like an ulcer. So I work in the hospital. So I'm like, somebody help me out. Like, what's going on? So they was like, try the heating pads. Was trying the heating pads. I was sitting in the massage chair and stuff like that because I had back pain too. So I didn't. I was like, I gotta show up for work. I'm still in my probationary period. Like, I ain't calling out.
Right, thugging it
I'm
out.
going. So then it just got too much. Like I went to one hospital because I couldn't keep anything down. Um, and they ran tests and everything, and they saw the cyst. They did a endoscopy where they put the tube down with a camera on the end, and they took pictures of the cyst and stuff like that, and they took a piece of it for a biopsy.
Okay.
That whole process, it takes days to get the results of a biopsy. So I'm waiting. So they sent me home. I was admitted over the weekend. So I went on a Friday. I got sent home or discharged on a Monday. And they were like, yeah, I'm going to need surgery. But they were like, yeah, call this surgeon. He reach out to him, schedule.
Mm.
So I call and they're like, oh, yeah, January 17th. Mind you, when they sent me home, I was on a clear liquid diet. Clear liquid diet, only liquids. So water, Gatorade, stuff like that. Because I wasn't holding any food down. So from that, I went home, wasn't able to eat, of course. And then it got to the point where going home, I wasn't even able to drink anymore. Like I could not hold any type of fluids down. And I was so dehydrated. So I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to my job. And because I knew, like, I knew I should have went there from the get go, but the other hospital was closer to the house, so it's just like, let me just go right here real quick, do what I got to do. From the time that they took the pictures and measured the cyst, it was what about 5 days in between, and it had grew so rapidly
Mm-hmm.
to the point where it was now causing a really bad obstruction.
Mm-hmm.
So from the time I got to my job and they admitted me, mind you, when you go to the emergency room, you could wait like 4 hours for real, and not they don't do nothing for real. It was so quick. It was so quick. Like I think I was in the waiting room for like 20 to 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
From that, it took me, they started my IV and everything because I was dehydrated. And I was sitting in the waiting room and I was thrown up. So they expedited, everything. They got the room in the emergency department. And I was in there for about an hour. And they were already, giving me medication for pain, fluids, and stuff like that. But I was still so thirsty and I was still trying to drink by mouth. So I'm like, I need this Gatorade. Like I need it. I need to have it. I can't do without it. Still trying to drink, still throwing up. So they were like, "Yeah, we're about to give you an NG tube." I'm like, "Oh, what?" So I'm getting fluid, like the NG tube went through my nose, and then down my throat and everything. I'm getting fluids and all this stuff, and within that hour, they had already told me. They said, "Yeah, you're going to have surgery. We just want to get everything back in a clear, picture of what we're looking at." So I'm like, "Oh, surgery."
Right.
At this point, I don't wish I just wish that I had about having surgery. It was gone. I
Right.
didn't have that wish anymore. So, um, they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have surgery." So I was like,
Let me tell you my
"Okay."
thoughts on when you finally said that you like the definite yes on surgery. I was like, why can't I do this for her? Only because
I
I was
wouldn't
like,
even
I'm the
let you. That's the
oldest.
crazy part. I would never even let you do that.
Like I'm the oldest. Let me do this for her
I probably take
because
a knife and stick myself just to prove that I don't want
no,
her to do it.
no. But I was definitely scared. You talking about somebody who was praying? Oh, I was praying. Like, how could my best friend have surgery before me? Like, I done had 3 kids, didn't even have to have surgery. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was me in the back just praying because I was like, Lord, let me do the surgery for her.
We all have certain roles, right? And I feel like you're meant to be the prayer warrior. You're bringing me on board with that. You know what I'm saying? You're helping me to become a prayer warrior as well. But that's your position on the team. Me, I'm here to do the hard stuff. I'm
What?
here to I don't want to say I'm here because that's not my purpose. But this is like the way that I've looked at things overall. I take the pain, you pray, and then I get better.
Oh goodness. Please help her. Like, what? No. No. Either way, I'm definitely happy about everything, to be honest, because I think that trusting the Lord was the like Proverbs 3 was the thing that was like sticking on us since September.
Mm-hmm.
Before I got on the plane to come to Florida, it was trusting the Lord because you came to my house a couple days before you left. Matter of fact, you the day that you left, you had went because you went to the airport here,
Mm-hmm.
and I was, hey, that is so crazy because remember we had the conversation outside, and I was like, something about today feels funny. It was around, it was close to Grandma's birthday, but I had been feeling funny
No,
because
it was a birthday because
it
remember
was.
we did dinner
Yeah, we did dinner, but I
the
don't
day
think that
before I
you.
left.
Okay, so it was okay.
Remember I
Oh, okay, yeah,
planned
yeah,
my
yeah,
trip around that. Yeah.
yeah. And I came outside and I was like, I just feel funny because earlier during was it earlier last year? Because I was like, dang, I would have had a 1 year old. Oh, I guess it would have been the year
Oh yeah,
before.
yeah, we did talk. Okay,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I would have had a one. I was like, it just feels so funny. I would have had a 1 year old. I would have been celebrating the birthday party for a 1 year old. And I'm like, a part of me is sad about this, but then another part is like, I was able to choose myself
Mm-hmm.
in a situation. He was like, don't forget to trust in the Lord. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just stay right there and trust in the Lord.
And I told
Like,
you shouldn't feel bad.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally been holding on to Proverbs 3. So with the surgery and recovery, matter of fact, it's been a speedy recovery. This girl was down for like half a day. When I tell you, I was the one who was calling trying to figure out when was the surgery over,
Mm-hmm.
where was she at, who can give her phone. I was the one who was
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I had
trying to just
one
figure
eye
out.
open trying to call.
Right.
Like I was so loopy. They had all types of stuff. I was like,
No, for sure.
call, hey Siri, call sister.
The fact that I was so I was calm. I was calm enough
You were
to the
not.
point. No, I
I
was
was
calm. No, I
calm,
was
and
calm
I was the
enough.
one having surgery.
No, I
I
was
was
calm
so
enough to
calm.
not panic the whole day. I'm not going to say that I wasn't anxious. I really was anxious that day. Like, just
Not even just that
imagine
day.
at 7 o'clock in the morning,
The whole
6 o'clock in the
time,
morning,
you were super anxious.
you like, yeah, they about to take me down, and I'm with my dad. And I'm like, thank goodness for fathers because he
Mm-hmm.
pulled up.
5 a.m.
No, for real. Pulled up on the scene and just made sure that she was good and was just like walking her through all of this stuff, just making sure that, like she wasn't afraid and wasn't like downplaying the whole situation. So, um, then it was me and I'm like in the house in the bed and I'm like the best way for me to stay calm is to go to sleep. So I was like off and on sleeping, checking my phone to see, texting my mom to see if the surgery was finished, texting her dad to see where we were in the surgery and they like, okay, they said 4 to 7 hours. And by the ninth hour, I was like, oh my gosh. And then
Mind you,
they
it was
said,
supposed to be minor surgery.
right, this
It
thing,
was supposed to take like 4 hours.
right,
But when I woke up and I seen it was 8 o'clock at night.
right. I was like, what? 9 hours is crazy work.
Yeah.
And the fact that that whole day, like I said, off and on sleep, the thing that made me happy at the end of the night was the fact that I texted her and I said, I love you, call me in the morning, get some rest. And the only thing she texted me was love you too. I was like, oh my goodness, my
Yeah, I
sister
remember
texted
that.
me.
I couldn't I was trying to hold the phone. It was sliding out my hand. I'm like, hit the mic thing. It took I said some other stuff, but it didn't pick up. It said I love you. I think I had to add the you or something. I had to add something to it, but that was all I could do when I hit send. That was it. I'm like,
When I tell
okay.
you that right there, I was like, thank the Lord. Because what would I do without my
It was
sister?
very like sin.
No, for real. But Dag, that's it's funny and it's crazy like going through it because I'm like, I didn't have a major surgery, but then you get to have the major surgery that I didn't want you to have. But it's like I
Trust me,
guess
you don't want to.
I don't want to have
Yeah.
any surgeries. I feel
Mm.
like it could pass me by.
I got what I asked for. See
I
that?
said, you know what? But the fact that you said that, because I think I said it before, like I didn't I didn't have direct prayers when I was little, but the one thing that I would pray about, or at least I guess I was speaking it into existence, I was like, I just want 3 kids because I seen my mom have three. But I said I want 3 kids with one person. But I ain't tell the Lord what I wanted this person to be like
Yeah.
like I didn't go into detail. So it's
And that's
like
the thing. Like for me, I pray against illness, you know, to be in good health. But I also wanted to have surgery.
That's crazy.
So it's like I've now had my surgery and I'm in good health.
Well, I
And that's the thing,
guess.
going through that whole thing, like they, just by the amount that I drink, I not drink, but was drinking, I was thinking that they was gonna say I had to have like a transplant or something. Like it, and that's why I think I was so calm because in my mind I'm like, you got yourself here.
What
You
would
drink.
you do something like if you had the opportunity to do it differently? Like just the I want to say just this space right now. Would you do it differently?
In what sense? What space? Like
In a sense
exactly.
of because you said that you felt like you got yourself to this place.
Well, technically, I didn't get myself to this place, but that's what I thought.
Mhm.
Just going into the hospital because stomach pain. I was drinking every day. Um, and I'm thinking like, oh, my liver, my kidneys, something like that was my thought.
Right.
But it was just like in my mind, and I think that's why I was able to be so calm because regardless of what it was caught, and I had time to make changes, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, with that thought, it's like, all right, yeah, you can change. This is, if it's something wrong with your kidneys, your liver, whatever the case is, you get one time to turn this around. So I already knew, like, hey, you're not going back down that rabbit hole. You're not doing certain things again. I already knew it. So then that was like realization number one. So then when they walk in and they're like, oh, it's a duplication cyst, you were born with it. I'm like,
So I didn't get myself into this.
that, but then it also brought into fact that I have so many people in my life that pray for me from the womb till now. And it's just like those individual prayers, you know what I'm saying? Like what was going on really couldn't have been avoided.
Right.
So it's just like for me, you pray for that health, right? You pray, you pray, you pray. And now I'm at the point where what they were praying against was already in me
Mhm.
before I even started making those bad decisions.
Mhm.
Now, my bad decisions could have, heightened the situation or whatever the case is, expedited everything, but it was already there. So just imagine if this thing happened to me as a child,
Right.
would I
Right.
have survived that?
Right.
You understand? So it was just like there is a lot that I think about, and again, that's why I'm able to be so calm when I'm in certain environments because it's just like I don't like in no way, shape, or form do I want to go back
Mhm.
to the lifestyle from before. In no way, shape, or form. I don't want to drink. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to yell. I don't want to curse. I don't want to get out of character. I don't want to. This is who I'm meant to be, and this is who I'm going to be. So, a lot of times, if you notice, I get frustrated when I'm home. First thing I do,
Take a nap.
I'll take a nap or I'm calling you. But yeah, I do take a nap. I get irritated. I'll be like, Jada, it's nap time, bro. I call you hours later and I'm like, yeah, I took a nap. Lost 4 hours in my day because I was irritated. But again, these are things that now I'm learning. Like I'm thinking so hard. I'm retracing my thinking. Like I'm thinking about my thinking. Thinking about the thoughts.
Yes,
Like
you are supposed
I'm
to.
not speaking first. It's not going to happen. So yeah, I do take a nap. Healthy ways, I go outside, I walk, all those things. But because it's just like if I do one thing that's the same as what I used to do, it's a spiral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So No,
I'm
not
proud of you.
happening.
I'm happy for you and I'm proud of you because it takes a lot
This is
to
29.
recognize
29. Better
where
quicken up.
you've been and where you are. And I feel like at this very present moment, you have realized where you've been and where you are. And right now, you're in a great space. And it's not just a regular old space. Like
It's
you
glow
have,
about me.
it is a glow about you, but you have something in your heart that is like God put it there for you to go tell somebody that God is real. Because had you stayed another day in the house, or had you stayed another day living a life that you don't even have a desire to live anymore, that could have cost you.
Yeah. And even with the surgery, right? So remember I was saying when I went to the first hospital, when I made the appointment, I thought I was getting surgery because the surgeon who I was seeing is the one, they contacted him to help make the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now on the 17th, you want me to come for a consult,
Mm-hmm.
not the actual surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So mind you, they discharged me December 23rd. So
Mm-hmm.
from December 23rd up until January 17th, well, not even up until January 17th, to whenever they can get around to scheduling the actual surgery,
Mm-hmm.
I'm only supposed to drink liquid.
Right.
How can I survive off that?
Right.
Can't. So the fact that was, the first thing. And again, I went to this hospital against what I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
I already knew where I should have went from the
Mm-hmm.
get go. But number one,
I mean, you just did what was right.
I didn't do what
You
was right.
you know you did what you thought was best for the moment. When it comes down to protecting yourself, if you're in a space where it's you looking out for you, you're gonna do what you feel like is best
Yeah.
in the moment because you have no one, no support right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you go and you do this thing that is supposed to help you, and you like, well, I don't feel like I got help there. You gonna do the next best thing, and that's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that you
But
did anything
it's not
wrong.
that. It's not that. It's the fact that you know how people say like there are certain things that happen and God speaks to you. And it's like there was literally a voice in my head telling me to go to my job.
Mm-hmm.
It was there. Mind you, the first time I threw up was at my job. I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
I said originally that when I clocked out, I would be going downstairs to the emergency room. I
Mm-hmm.
went home.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think that came from? Like that I guess like the nonchalant attitude towards like, oh, I'm gonna just go home, opposed to, because I could look at it as two different things. Either you really just didn't want to deal with it that day, or it was a thing where it's like it's my job and I want to be private.
Um, I didn't care about the privacy.
Okay.
Even when they brought me upstairs to my floor, because I work on surgical floor. When they brought me upstairs, I was waving at everybody I wave at on a daily basis.
Okay.
You know, hey, they didn't recognize me. I ain't had no wig on, nothing. She put some straight back gel braids in my hair. They
They
was
was
cute
cute.
from the
I was
front.
gonna say
When I turned to the side, I had on hang time. Like, no.
no, for real, because it was no nothing on them braids, boy.
Y'all was rocking them braids. I didn't care. I didn't
But that's the
care.
crazy part because I drove all the way down there just to make sure that she had cornrows for her surgery.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
for real.
rocked them cornrows. Even after I came home, I
No,
washed
for
my
real.
hair with the cornrows in and
And
tied them
then threw the
up.
wig on.
And
Okay.
I redid them a couple
Yeah, you
times.
did.
Yeah, like and that's the thing. I did not. I think, and that goes back to that nakedness I was talking about.
Mhm.
You know, everywhere I go, it doesn't matter if I'm just going to run to the store, whatever, whatever. I don't go outside looking crazy. Like it just can't happen. I'll put a scarf on, put it on cute, make a little bun in the back, whatever. But through this, I literally would just focus. Like, it wasn't even the idea of, oh, I'm having surgery. It was none of that was really on my mind. It's like I heard them say I was having surgery. Okay. But I was listening to God. And one thing, it was just like, this is not for you. This situation is not for you to worry. It's for you to wake up,
Okay.
and that was what was important. Nothing else mattered. That's why even you would call me and you were like, why are you laughing? Da, da, da. 'Cause why not? Why not? And that's just mean like I was still joyous. You
Mhm.
know, I just, yeah, like it was just like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm in the space where it's like I'm gonna be taken care of regardless,
Right.
and the delay, even the delay in me going to the hospital and stuff like that, I didn't want to be a burden on people that I already felt like could care less, So if you realize when I got discharged from the first hospital, you came down the next day.
Yeah.
You came, did you come down the next day or
I
that
believe
day?
so. I like the next day.
You came Christmas Eve?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so you came the next day. And I was in pain and everything. I said, I'm going with Jada. Like, I'm going with her. I don't care. And I came. The crazy thing is, it's like when I came, I wasn't in pain. I I stayed here, everything. Like I was fine. And then I get back to the house and everything just started all over again. The pain, I literally could not sleep at all. But here, I slept. In fact, I would have slept more than that if we didn't have to go to the game.
Mhm.
I would have slept longer and more because I was so comfortable. But as soon as like boom, got back, it all started again. And it's like
Yeah.
one of the number one people in my support system is not here. And it's just like, man, why couldn't all this have been going on when you were down there? You know what I'm saying? Like I could have still been like, oh, I don't feel good, or um, like, or the same way how I couldn't sleep and that pain was just unbearable. Why couldn't it happen when you were there? Because I knew that, and that's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like, in that situation, I feel like if you were there would have been no delay in me getting, what I needed to get done. And, even going to the first hospital, I told you, I walked over there because I'm like, I don't want to be a burden. I want to ask. I'll figure it out. You're 100 some miles away, and I'm calling you like you could just come down the street and pick me up.
Right. Because
I'm consulting with you,
some
and
people, it's just delusional sometimes. Like I'm supposed to just be at her beck and call
not even on my
because
beck and
it ain't
call,
even at your
but
beck and call. It's just like
I
when she
trust you.
call, she know I'm gonna make a move. So
I
yeah,
trust you, and I can blindly trust you. It's definitely a word.
you can say it.
Okay, definitely. I could blindly, definitely trust you. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
goodness.
If I'm unable to speak, I know that whatever my sister says out her mouth will be in my best interest. I know if I'm unable to hear, I know that, you know, her communicating with me will be in my best interest. If I was blind, she will literally paint a picture for me, so I can mentally see what she's talking about. I trust her that much. So yeah, I'm going to always call you. I don't care.
That is crazy
I don't
that
care.
you just said that because, whew, that's a lot to say.
So yeah, that's why when it comes to certain things, and I always tell you this, it doesn't matter what it is, you can get anything from me. Anything. If I don't got it now, I'm gonna figure it out. Because you're gonna get anything from me. Because guess what? With 3 kids, you still go above and beyond to do things for me. Whether it's a financial thing, whether it's just mental, emotional, you're there for me. And now it's in a spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're there for me. You got baptized first, right? In my mind, at first it's like, I want to do it because my sister did it. But then you broke it down to me, and I started understanding the reasoning behind it and what's going to come with it. And I said, I still want to do it. I'm going to do it. And I did it. So it's just like, there's not many people in life that I can honestly say I follow or flock to or flock behind, whatever. But you, man, if you the left foot, I'm the right.
Oh
That's how
man,
that
that's my
goes.
girl.
That's how that goes.
I
And
don't even want it to sound like it's all cutesy and
that's not,
demure, but
that
it's. I know that that's who she is. Just one last question: what are you expecting God to do for you moving forward?
I'm expecting God to reveal the testimony because I've already experienced the test.
Okay.
I'm, and you know, and that's the only thing I'm expecting because again, it's something that I have to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just gonna be like, oh, you start doing this, da da da, boom, you get $1 million or whatever. It's nothing like that. I'm expecting nothing. What I'm what I'm hoping to accomplish is to have my steps ordered. And with that, it's like, yeah, I pray for that, on a daily basis. But I want the necessary tools to get me to where I would like to be. I want to be able to do my part before I can start speaking on what I expect.
Well,
Because
you
I
can
haven't did my part yet. I did a portion.
you can still have the
I
expectations.
have no expectations yet. Because guess what? Listen, God has asked me to do a number of things
Hmm.
already, and I've only done a couple. So guess what? My expectation is going to come when I complete the first set of tasks that I was asked to do.
Okay.
Then I can expect something.
Okay.
But as of right now, I expect I can't expect
You can expect.
the strength to be obedient. That's what I
Okay.
expect.
That's it.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take that because I feel like you can still expect God to do things, whether you seen, whether you heard, whether you feel like you already know. You can expect for Him to do some things because that's just the way He works. Whether He puts you into another situation or a space for you to grow, whether He take you out of something else that you thought that was just right for you, but you can definitely expect for him to continue being who he is. He's never going to change. He's
I
going to
mean,
do
I know
whatever he
that,
wants to do. So you could
but that's the
expect for
thing.
things to be good
I get
because
that.
every good and perfect gift comes from God.
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is, you said, what do I expect?
Yeah.
So that's in my opinion, right? So it's not necessarily that I don't. It's not one of those things where it's like I I think that God's not going to show up and show out. I mean, I know He is. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's me. It's one of those things where I still kind of think about the fact of I don't want to be rewarded for doing nothing.
But you're already doing something.
hold on. When I say doing that,
You
that's just
said
a
your to do
general.
list.
That's
I
just a
know.
general, statement. But it's just like I want to put in the work.
Hmm.
The same way I want to work overtime and do all this. I could do that for human. I want to put in the work for God. So that's why it's just like, yeah, I will. Let me tell you, I'm gonna have a list of expectations
Hmm.
once I, do the first again, like the first thing, because it's one of those things where there are some things on this list that God have asked of me from years ago,
Hmm.
and it's like slowly but surely I'm doing it. I'm checking it off. But it's like I really want to buckle down and like do what I gotta do.
Hmm.
And then, like I said, it's just a me thing. I know God and I know that He's gonna show up in all ways. But it's just like I want that satisfaction for myself
Okay.
as well.
Well, I will say to get started, if you don't feel like you are already started, I would say the first thing that you the first thing that we all can do, because I'm pretty sure somebody else out there that's like, I'm trying to check off the boxes,
Mm-hmm.
get started, uh, tighten my relationship, do the things and be obedient. I think that the first thing that we all can do is open up our Bibles to Romans 10:9. And this is literally the salvation the free gift of salvation that he gives us,
Mm-hmm.
where we are to be in a space to acknowledge the fact that Jesus Christ died for us and he was raised from the dead
Yeah.
and he is now seated at the right hand of the Father.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to believe in our hearts, and confess with our mouth that he is Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's just the start to bring us to a space where the slate is already clean, regardless of what it looked like yesterday and regardless of what you think it might look like tomorrow. And it's like, okay, well, whatever it is, I'm a Romans 10:9 this thing. I'm a believe in my heart and confess with my mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord. And he died, but he is risen and he is at the right hand of the Father. And that's that. Because it makes you, if in your heart your posture is directed toward him,
Mm-hmm.
it gets you back to that to-do list and it gets you on a space and a path where, okay, Lord, I surrender my whole entire being to you. And that's my heart, my spirit. I'm surrendering that part of me to you. So therefore I can hear clearly. Not with only my physical ears, but with the heart, with the ears of my heart. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can hear you in my spirit to know what it is that you really want me to do, because you might have given me a to-do list that's long as I don't know what. But I guarantee you that the first thing that he wants you to do is just acknowledge the fact that he has saved you just by dying for you because of everything that you will go through in this life.
Yeah,
And that's just that.
I get that.
So that's all I wanted to say, really.
What I have something to say. So I think that one of the things, you know, going through surgery and everything, I've had to be without distraction.
Hmm.
It's almost time for me to go back into certain atmospheres and things like that. And it's just like, I still don't want to be distracted.
Hmm.
So that's what I mean by, like doing the work and
Yeah.
making sure I stay on track because, I told you even last week, I don't know what it was. I prayed less and I was just like, yeah, something's off. I had already knew it. I'm like, yeah, something's going on. It's
Hmm.
not right. And again, distracted.
Hmm.
So it's just like I want to stay the course. And that's why I'm just like, I don't have any expectations at this moment because it's just like I want to be able to, be in certain atmospheres and things like that. And before I'm hearing anything outside, I'm hearing God.
Yeah. But that
Because
comes
that's the
from,
voice. I want that volume all the way up.
yeah.
And I want it to be like everybody else is muffled.
Yeah.
I want to hear him clear. So that's why it's so important for me, just trying to have that and build that and grow on that. So that's why I said it's important for me to do what I have to do as far as like that little checklist of things I should let go and things like that, because it's going to show my commitment. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to show my dedication. It's going to show my understanding. So yeah,
I appreciate you for sitting with
appreciate you
me
too.
today and yesterday.
Yeah.
Um,
So you think
um,
I should change my train ticket?
I mean, that's on you. They might not even let y'all out because it's snowing, but it is what it is. Um, I don't know if you want to pray, but
My throat is
I
sore.
usually pray, so
Yeah,
I
that's
will
okay.
pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this great conversation. I thank you that I got a chance to sit down with my sister, who is also your child. I thank you that favor falls and rests on us. I thank you that she knows that she has been put in the fire and she has been transitioning through this test, that she is receiving her testimony. I thank you that not only will this message and her voice be heard through this conversation, but it'll be received and understood, and she'll be seen and felt through this conversation. I thank you that she was open enough to speak about everything that you have placed in front of her, that her latter days are in front of her. Like it's getting gooder, if that is even a word. The best is yet to come. I thank you, Lord, for allowing us to trust in you with all of our heart. We will Proverbs 3 this thing until the end of time. Thank you, Lord, that we can just come before you and just hear you and love on you the same way that you do us. I know that we want things to be better right now, but I thank you that every good and perfect gift comes from you. So it just depends on how we see it. If we see things good, then it is good because you make nothing outside of your greatness that is less than who you are. You're a good God. You're a great God. You are our Father, and you protect us from everything. And while you're protecting us, you're building us up. Lord God, I thank you for strength because I know that that is what you are giving us to move forward. I thank you that everything that you have done thus far will not return to you void because it'll just be the testimony to get the people in your kingdom together to rally around for your glory. In Jesus' most mighty and matchless name, amen.
Amen. Gooder.
Yes, gooder. It's a word. I just made it up the same way that you said.
You
What did
should
you
have seen me.
say?
I do like this.
What is the word that you just asked me?
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely and gooder. Definitely gooder. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Thought Spoken Wisely podcast. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, all of the things. We want to see the comments. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you
Until,
for having me.
oh gosh, toodles.
Cut and beautiful guys. Beautiful
Oh
guys.
gosh. Great. But yeah, let's start off with, I don't even have like an icebreaker question, but how you feeling today?
I feel good. Y'all, I've been at Jada house for like 40 days and 40 nights.
Oh
No, I'm just
gosh.
kidding. Since
She want to be
Sunday.
Jesus so bad. Like, come on now.
I've been here since Sunday. It's Tuesday. I'm going home tomorrow. Boo. Insert the sound there.
I don't know how to do all that
Okay,
yet,
right, all right, okay,
but
yeah.
the kid's gonna be sad. Just
I
know
know,
that.
especially my boo, my bestie. But
Anyway,
I mean, I'm like, I've been so happy here, but I'm definitely like, dang, do I just change my train and go home another day?
right, right.
I did bring extra clothes.
Exactly. As she normally do. She always overpacking. You tell her 2 days and she gonna pack for 40 days and 40 nights.
Exactly, because you
Right.
never know.
No. She never wants to leave.
Got that right. I
Anyway.
should just stay.
Stay where?
That took a turn. That took a turn. Okay.
No. I mean you can stay. We love
I
having you
don't need
here. Yeah, you
your
do.
permission
Yeah, you do.
to tell me I can stay.
Wow.
And she's 4.
Maybe she'll
She rules
pay
the
the
world.
bills. I don't know.
Well, Nash said this is his house. He
This
put
is his
me out
house.
yesterday, by the way.
Oh gosh. Anyway, let's really get started.
How are you feeling today? You asked
Um,
me, but how are you feeling? Like,
I feel
you know.
good.
Okay, what
Actually,
makes you
I
feel
feel
good?
um
Is it because I'm here?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because she's here, I feel good. Um, I feel good because like I'm level headed. I have no weight. I don't feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. Um, I don't know, like I can breathe. I feel relaxed, well rested. And mind you, I've been up. The kids ain't go to school today. Everybody took a nap but me.
More
Like,
quality time.
yeah, I feel really good. So,
Okay. What's
yeah.
your question?
Gosh.
What am I
I
gonna
don't
do?
we talk on the phone like 75 times a day. No lie. And she be wanting my location, knowing that I'm in the house and she in the house and we both in the house. And still be
But
wanting to know
we
where I
know
be
where
at.
each other is at all
Like,
times.
why?
It's okay. It's fine.
And then you want me to come to your house after you leave my house to be at your house?
Yeah.
And then my location gonna be pinging at your house and you still gonna wanna know where I'm at.
Yeah, because why would you turn it off? You know, it's like if you have to turn it off, you're being sneaky.
Oh my goodness.
We're adults.
This
Living
is
your
this is
truth.
my little sister. My little sister.
I have to know where you are at all times.
Oh goodness.
It makes me feel great knowing that, okay, I just pull it up. I check the location 3 times a day. That's based on me knowing that, certain times of the day you move around, you go out. So in the morning, because I know you're going to take 2 to school, so it's like, okay, check. Then like high afternoon around the time
Do
we
y'all
picking
hear
her
this?
up or like right before, just in case you want to run out to the store, grab some stuff, and then go pick her up from school. And then once in the evening, yeah, I check. Well, 4 times because I check at night too to make sure you didn't pull a
Wow.
staining clause.
Great.
Yeah, but you